From 1966 to 2000, the RSEA engineering agency competed fiercely in the global construction market against contractors from around the world, securing overseas projects across Southeast Asia, Africa, the Middle East, the Americas, the Pacific Islands, and the Indian Ocean region. The previous first episode and the second episode introduced projects in 6 Southeast Asian countries, while the third episode covered projects in the Middle East, specifically in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Bahrain. This is the fourth episode, which continues with the introduction of projects in various regions, including Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, Guam in the Pacific Islands, the Central African Republic, Egypt, Liberia, and Guinea-Bissau in Africa, Atlanta and Vancouver in North America, Costa Rica in Central and South America, as well as the Solomon Islands and Tuvalu in the South Pacific. Guam, located in the western Pacific Ocean, is one of the 5 unincorporated territories of the United States. It has an area of 544 square kilometers and a population of approximately 161,785. From 1970 to 1980, the RSEA Engineering Agency began expanding its operations to Guam, starting with the construction of phases 2 and 3 of the U.S. Naval Base housing project. Other scattered works included housing projects at the U.S. Naval Air Station, facility restoration at the Naval Base, facility restoration at the Air Force Base, and the reconstruction of the Naval Base transmitter building. The U.S. Naval Base housing project, in its second and third phases, involves the construction of a total of 530 housing units. The family housing units at the U.S. military base in Guam were built to very high standards. Each unit was equipped with central air conditioning, a garage, as well as appliances such as a dishwasher and a garbage disposal. The RSEA Engineering Agency undertook both the design and construction as a turnkey project. The Phase 2 family housing project included a recreational park covering an area of 19 acres. The park featured sports courts, a playground, and picnic areas, making it a highly modern residential community. In addition, the church project in Guam was honored with a Best Design Award. The RSEA Engineering Agency operated in the Guam region for a total of 10 years, but eventually withdrew due to limited business development. Diego Garcia is a forward base for the U.S. military in the Indian Ocean. From 1973 to 1976, the RSEA Engineering Agency was awarded the contract for the dredging project at Diego Harbor. The seabed of Diego Garcia consists entirely of extremely hard coral reefs, making it a nemesis for grab dredgers. During construction, underwater demolition was carried out in certain areas by frogmen dispatched from Taiwan, causing the coral to collapse naturally and achieve the desired dredging effect. The dredging project at Diego Harbor was carried out in 6 phases. Among them, the first phase was the most challenging due to the difficulty of excavating the coral reef layer on the seabed. The RSEA Engineering Agency's staff persevered under harsh conditions and ultimately completed the project on schedule. When all 6 phases of the project were completed, the U.S. military commanders and supervising personnel on the island gave a thumbs up in admiration, praising the engineering personnel from the Republic of China as truly outstanding. The Central African Republic lies between 3 and 11 degrees north latitude, situated in the heart of the African continent. It is a vital corridor for north-south and east-west movement, holding significant strategic importance. The country has a total area of 625,900 square kilometers and a population of approximately 4,422,000. To the northeast, it borders Sudan, to the east, South Sudan, to the south, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, to the southwest, the Republic of the Congo, to the west, Cameroon, and to the north, Chad. Located about 1,000 kilometers from the nearest coastline, it is a landlocked country with no access to the sea. In 1970, the RSEA Engineering Agency entered Africa for the first time by dispatching a Central African Highway technical team to assist local engineers in road construction and training. Their work included guiding highway construction operations, assisting in the maintenance and repair of related construction machinery, and training personnel in highway engineering. Due to the technical team's dedication and sense of responsibility, they were warmly welcomed by the host country. Many road construction projects were successfully completed under the guidance and assistance of the RSEA Engineering Agency Highway Technical Team. The technical team remained in service until 1976, when diplomatic ties between the two countries were severed, prompting their withdrawal. Over 5.5 years of service, the bond of friendship between the two peoples was deeply rooted and endures to this day, thanks to the RSEA Engineering Agency's technical assistance. The Arab Republic of Egypt is commonly known as Egypt. Ancient Egypt was one of the world's earliest civilizations. The country has a total area of 1,001,450 square kilometers, and as of February 2020, its population surpassed 100 million. Egypt is considered a middle power country, with key industries such as tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, and services contributing almost equally to its development. Egypt's Suez Canal serves as a bridge between Asia and Europe, and it holds significant influence across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and regions of Islamic faith. Egypt was the first engineering market in Africa that the RSEA Engineering Agency formally entered. In 1986, the RSEA Engineering Agency won the contract to undertake the coastal revetment along the Rosetta coastline of the Nile Delta. The construction site was located on both banks of the Rosetta branch mouth, about 60 kilometers northeast of the famous city of Alexandria. Revetments were built to protect against wave erosion, 1.5 kilometers on the left bank and 3.8 kilometers on the right bank, totaling 5.3 kilometers in length. After the RSEA Engineering Agency was awarded the contract, the project drew significant attention from international coastal protection experts representing the World Bank, the United Nations, the United States, France, the Netherlands, Denmark, and Egypt. The RSEA Engineering Agency indeed lived up to expectations, not only successfully completing a project that safeguarded the lives, property, and ecological resources of a large portion of the Egyptian population, but also opening a channel of diplomatic engagement between the Republic of China and a country with which it had no formal diplomatic ties, making a significant contribution to citizen diplomacy. The Rosetta Coastal Protection Project officially commenced at the end of March 1986. The western revetment was completed first in September 1990, followed by the eastern revetment on December 12 of the same year, more than 3 months ahead of the contractual schedule. In 1987, the RSEA Engineering Agency was subsequently awarded the contract for the construction of a new deep-water pier at Port Said. Located on the western bank of the Suez Canal, Port Said is a commercial port on the Mediterranean coast of Egypt. The project involved the construction of a pile-supported deep-water pier measuring 250 meters in length and 34.5 meters in width. Construction began in January 1988 and was completed on June 3, 1990. Egypt and Taiwan have no formal diplomatic relations. In 1989, then Kuomintang Secretary General James Sung and his wife visited Egypt. Through arrangements made by the RSEA Engineering Agency, the Egyptian Minister of Public Works privately hosted a banquet in their honor, joined by the Ministers of Agriculture and Interior. The gathering was warm and cordial, with both hosts and guests enjoying the occasion. The Egyptian Ministry of Public Works and the Coastal Protection Authority under the Ministry of Irrigation, in light of RSEA Engineering Agency's performance on the Rosetta Seawall and Port Said project, proactively entrusted RSEA Engineering Agency with the Baltim Shore Protection Project on the Nile River. This was a contract awarded by the Egyptian government, earned entirely through engineering credibility and a guarantee of quality. The Baltim Shore Protection Project was located in the central area of the Nile River Delta's lower reaches. The construction included a new seawall measuring 1,100 meters in length. Approximately 200 meters offshore, 4 isolated offshore breakwaters were built. One of them was 350 meters long, while the other 3 were each 250 meters long. The base width of each breakwater, including the toe of the slope, was 34 meters, and their height ranged from approximately 4.5 to 5 meters above the seabed. The entire project was completed ahead of schedule on May 17, 1993, and the Egyptian government held an inauguration ceremony on August 24 of the same year to officially open the facility. At the time, this was a major event for Egypt, drawing widespread coverage from the news media. The RSEA Engineering Agency, as a trusted and prestigious name, gained widespread recognition across Africa and the international construction industry. Liberia is located in West Africa, bordering the South Atlantic Ocean. To strengthen relations with Liberia, in particular, assistance was extended in the area of transportation, with a road construction project provided to improve Liberia's infrastructure and agricultural development, thereby revitalizing the country's industries. The road construction plan provided by the Republic of China was the Bong-Nimba Highway project in Liberia. Commissioned by the ROC government, the RSEA Engineering Agency was entrusted with both the design and construction under a turnkey contract. This was another example of the RSEA Engineering Agency extending friendship and technical assistance to an African nation, following its earlier engineering support to the Central African Republic. The Bong-Nimba Highway is the largest and most important transportation artery in Liberia. Located in the jungle region of central Liberia, it stretches 270 kilometers in length and passes through vast swamps and hilly terrain. The area was plagued by malaria and epidemics, making construction conditions extremely harsh. At the same time, the construction area was home to a complex mix of ethnic groups with hostile relations toward one another, posing significant potential risks to the execution of the project. In January 1980, the RSEA Engineering Agency established a project office in Liberia and dispatched a site director along with 6 colleagues to the country by air. Filipino engineers and local laborers were recruited to commence construction of the Bong-Nimba Highway. However, an armed rebellion broke out in Liberia, and the conflict quickly spread along the Bong-Nimba Highway corridor. By the end of April 1980, the civil war had rapidly escalated, with rebel forces approaching the capital, Monrovia. After multiple coordination efforts by the construction office, all construction personnel finally boarded a flight with staff from our embassy in May and returned from Monrovia to await further instructions in Taiwan. While awaiting the resumption of work in Taiwan, the RSEA Engineering Agency's Liberia Project Office personnel did not remain idle. They input engineering data collected earlier that year at the Bong-Nimba site into the computer system, and rushed to produce topographic maps, and proceeded with highway design work. The site director accompanied our diplomats to Zambia to establish a temporary base. He risked returning to Liberia multiple times to assess the civil war situation there, and inspect the storage and placement of equipment and construction assets. He kept in close contact with our embassy to prepare for the possible resumption of work. As the conflict worsened and warlords remained in deadlock, it was concluded that work could not resume soon. The Bong-Nimba Highway project ended in November 1992. Although the Bong-Nimba Highway project was interrupted due to the civil war in Liberia, the RSEA Engineering Agency's cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in implementing substantive diplomacy, its planning of foreign aid policies, and its efforts to assist friendly nations have yielded intangible yet meaningful results, efforts that are truly worthy of recognition. The Republic of Guinea-Bissau, commonly known as Guinea-Bissau, is a country located in West Africa, formerly known as Portuguese Guinea. It borders Senegal to the north, Guinea to the east and south, and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. It has a total area of 36,120 square kilometers and a population of approximately 1.6 million. Its capital is Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is one of the least developed countries in the world. Commissioned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the RSEA Engineering Agency undertook 4 turnkey projects: public housing, Parliament House, Airport Terminal, and Airport Access Road. All project funds were provided via loans from the ROC to Guinea-Bissau. The RSEA Engineering Agency followed the loan agreements and memoranda signed by both nations, submitted the proposal on June 25, 1991, and signed the contract on July 12, 1991. These were the largest projects in the nation's history, and received wide media coverage locally. The RSEA Engineering Agency set up a local office in Guinea-Bissau, assigning staff who had returned from war-torn Liberia. With material shortages and poor infrastructure, and language barriers due to Portuguese use, mobilization proved extremely difficult. Still, careful planning by engineers allowed steady project execution. Resources in Guinea-Bissau were extremely limited, even small items like nails and screws had to be imported from abroad. As for construction materials such as hollow bricks, the RSEA Engineering Agency had to establish its own plant to manufacture them locally. The construction personnel dispatched by the RSEA Engineering Agency had previously experienced the turmoil of civil war in Liberia, which enabled them to face the harsh conditions in Guinea-Bissau without fear. In February 1993, although the construction personnel were attacked and robbed by rioters, resulting in injuries to several staff members, the determination of the RSEA Engineering Agency workers to complete the project remained unshaken. While undertaking construction projects in Guinea-Bissau, the RSEA Engineering Agency also trained local workers in the production of crushed stone aggregates and concrete blocks to supply the needs of various construction sites. This transfer of technical skills embodied the government's approach to practical foreign aid, not only giving fish, but also teaching how to fish. The RSEA Engineering Agency completed 6 buildings of national housing totaling 70 units, 11 high-end residential buildings, the airport access road, the parliamentary building, and the terminal building, all before 1997. The RSEA Engineering Agency's New York office was established in 1977, specializing in the procurement of engineering equipment and materials in the United States. In the late 1980s, to support RSEA Engineering Agency's business transformation policy, the New York office began seeking real estate development opportunities in the United States and Canada. In 1990, the RSEA Engineering Agency decided to move into the Oaks at Buckhead Building Investment and Development Project in Atlanta, Georgia. Founded in 1837, Atlanta quickly became a major transportation hub in the southern United States. After the defeat of the Confederacy during the American Civil War, the city was nearly destroyed, but it recovered rapidly during the Reconstruction era. In the 20th century, it emerged as a center of the American Civil Rights Movement and went on to host the Centennial Olympic Games in 1996. The RSEA Engineering Agency invested $2.6 million in the Oaks at Buckhead project, while additional funding for land and construction costs was covered through bank loans. The project consisted of a high-rise building with 32 floors above ground and 3 basement levels. The entire development covered a land area of 1.67 acres, with a total floor area of 2,040 pings. Construction began in July 1990 and was completed by the end of December 1991. The development comprised a total of 216 residential units, all of which were sold by the end of July 1996. In another investment and development project in the Ammersee Lakes area of Atlanta, the RSEA Engineering Agency invested $1.75 million and financed the remainder through bank loans. The development covered 93.8 acres of land, and by the end of 2000, a total of 153 units had been completed and fully sold. In the new Westminster Towers development project in Vancouver, Canada, the RSEA Engineering Agency invested $4.8 million Canadian dollars to construct 2 residential buildings, each over 20 stories high. By the end of May 2000, all units had been sold. Costa Rica, meaning rich coast, is a country in Central America. It borders Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south, and is flanked by the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea to the west and east, respectively. The country has a land area of 51,100 square kilometers and a population of approximately 4.6 million. The capital is San Jose, and the country is a democratic republic with a strong system of constitutional checks and balances. The president serves as the head of state. Costa Rica is the first country in the world to have abolished its military. It is one of the more economically developed countries in Central America and enjoys a relatively high standard of living. In addition, Costa Rica places great emphasis on ecological conservation and is home to numerous nature reserves. It is a country that operates entirely on sustainably generated electricity, and its transportation systems are primarily powered by renewable energy sources. In 2000, RSEA Engineering Agency went to Costa Rica in Central America to undertake a foreign aid project commissioned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, the Tempisque Bridge. It was the first cable-stayed bridge in Central and South America. The bridge is 780 meters long and 13.3 meters wide, featuring a composite design that includes both cable-stayed and approach bridge structures, with a main span of 170 meters. This project was carried out as a turnkey contract. The design work was undertaken by MAA, Taiwan. Construction began in July 2000 and was completed in March 2003. The bridge was named the Taiwan Friendship Bridge. The RSEA Engineering Agency later secured the San Carlos Highway project in Costa Rica through competitive bidding, with a construction period of 6 years. The highway has a total length of 39.4 kilometers and runs entirely through mountainous terrain. 10 river bridges were constructed. For this project in Costa Rica, the RSEA Engineering Agency sourced most of the construction materials from Taiwan. In this way, a large portion of the project funding was able to flow back to Taiwan, marking a new model for the country's foreign aid projects. Construction began in 2003 and was completed in 2009. The Solomon Islands is a nation in the South Pacific, located northeast of Australia and east of Papua New Guinea. Its capital, Honiara, is situated on Guadalcanal Island, which was a turning point in the Pacific theater during World War II. The Solomon Islands consist of over 990 islands, with a total land area of 28,450 square kilometers and a population of 640,000. In 1989, under the arrangement of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, the RSEA Engineering Agency established a construction office for a central hospital project in the Solomon Islands. Preliminary site preparation officially began on November 1, 1989. Phase 1 of the project included the completion of the outpatient department, emergency room, physical therapy department, operating room, X-ray room, maternity ward, laboratory, pharmacy, sterilization room, mechanical and electrical room, conference room, lounge, storage room, and restrooms. The facility was officially handed over to the government of the Solomon Islands on December 19, 1993. The opening ceremony was presided over by Prime Minister Solomon Mamoloni. At the beginning of the project, several challenges arose, including the Solomon Islands' inability to supply sand and gravel as agreed, a general lack of professionalism, and a shortage of skilled construction workers. Fortunately, the RSEA Engineering Agency team overcame these difficulties through strong teamwork. On one hand, materials were procured from Taiwan and delivered on time in 20-foot containers. On the other hand, the Embassy of the Republic of China in the Solomon Islands actively participated in the project, coordinating with the Ministry of Public Works, the Port Authority, and Customs to significantly reduce processing time. Subsequently, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China agreed to the Solomon Islands' request and donated medical equipment and instruments to the hospital. In addition, the remaining fixed installations, a small-scale wastewater treatment plant, and solar water heaters were also added to the project and entrusted to the RSEA Engineering Agency for construction. Phase 2 of the Solomon Islands Central Hospital project began in September 1995 and was completed in December 1996. Tuvalu is an island nation composed of 9 atoll islands located in the South Pacific. With extremely low elevation, its highest point reaching only 4 meters above sea level, it is one of the countries most severely threatened by global sea level rise. Tuvalu has a very small land area, with only 26 square kilometers of territory and a total population of around 10,000. Tuvalu is one of the least developed countries in the world and also one of the least visited by tourists globally. In 1991, commissioned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the RSEA Engineering Agency undertook the Vaiaku Lagi Hotel expansion project in Tuvalu under a turnkey contract. Construction began in July 1991 and, after more than 2 years, was completed in the winter of 1993. The facility was then handed over to the Tuvaluan government for operation. During the construction period in Tuvalu, the RSEA Engineering Agency faced extreme shortages of both manpower and materials. Even basic necessities such as fruit, vegetables, clean drinking water, and medical supplies were difficult to obtain through regular resupply. Nevertheless, the construction personnel endured the hardships, overcame the difficulties, and successfully completed the mission. Looking back, since the RSEA Engineering Agency first entered the international market from Vietnam in 1966, its footprint has reached every corner of the world where construction projects exist. For over 30 years, RSEA Engineering Agency personnel have stood together through wind and rain, undaunted by hardship, and have even accomplished numerous seemingly impossible tasks amidst gunfire and warfare. Their outstanding construction quality and exceptional efficiency have earned widespread recognition and praise from all levels across many countries. This strong reputation has enabled the RSEA Engineering Agency name to rise to international prominence amid fierce global competition in the construction industry. In every corner of the world, RSEA Engineering Agency's dedicated personnel have completed major national construction projects ahead of schedule through extraordinary effort and perseverance. Their accomplishments span countless international projects and have also played a vital role in promoting Taiwan's image through citizen diplomacy. The achievements of the RSEA Engineering Agency are truly unprecedented, an enduring source of pride for Taiwan. Let us once again extend our highest respect and deepest gratitude to all RSEA Engineering Agency personnel.